welcome back to Broerman Farmstead. Today we're going to be continuing on our barn project in this barn series, working on this walkway. We're going to pick back up where we left off. I've got some lumber to clean up back here from that last little bit of wall that we took down, and the rest of this lumber from the walkway to move out and get out of here. I got to take my gates back down that I put in just in case the cows decide that they wanted to get out of that area over there. Take all that back down, get back in here. I went and I rented a concrete saw and a small jackhammer to start working on removing this concrete. So come along, we've got a lot of work to do today. You're doing a scavenger hunt? Well, that's pretty cool.
Pumpkins and scarecrows and pine cones.
Oh, good luck. I don't think we have pumpkins. We don't got the other two.
Pine cones are back there.
No, that's right. Daddy's pretty scary. Maybe he could scare a crow away. Well, I got that lumber cleaned up, and I found out something slightly interesting. Underneath the boards is about 4 to 6 inches of dirt and then a layer of concrete. It's about a foot below than the rest of the floor, but I didn't expect to find that. Didn't know what was underneath that. I just assumed it was dirt because I'd seen dirt. So you're still going to re-pour over top of that somehow, because that's not going to make for a really nice tall floor. I want it to be sealed off from the cows. That way any of the water runoff doesn't go in there, and we can walk through there without getting sloppy and keep it kind of nice. Getting ready to start sawing this floor here. I'm going to start by cutting this because the lowest point, I got to cut basically from where that hole is, straight that way and straight that way. That'll get me a good area to work in to put that automatic waterer in. So yeah, we'll get this camera set up so you can see kind of what's going on. the concrete stall ended up being a bust. This is a rental unit. It's not the newest thing in the world, but I'm having a hard time keeping this adjusted. Every time I go to make contact with concrete, I cut about 6 inches and then it starts to slip. There's some sort of belt system on here. It's kind of like a chainsaw, but with blades on the end. So I've looked up on Husqvarna's site and I've tried to find manuals on this thing to figure out what I need to do to keep this thing tight. I've been adjusting the adjustment screw up there, but again, I use it for just a little bit. It seems nice and tight, and then it loosens up and doesn't stay tight. I've even adjusted the outside bolts, tightened them up, but after a while it comes loose and it doesn't cut anymore. I was at least able to get a nice score mark along the one spot I'm cutting, trying to break concrete out, so I'll have at least a little bit of a straight edge. But the jackhammer's just working. It's working the best. It's a lot more work, it's a lot more effort. I was hoping to cut this into like 1 foot by 1 foot or 1 foot by 2 foot chunks and lift them out, but instead we're just busting it up chunk by chunk. We'll get this square taken out. I've already started doing a little bit of work up here. It's ground settled underneath of it, so it's hollow, so it's busting up really nice and easy. So I'm just going to keep taking the jackhammer to everything and just bust it all out. It's going to be a little more work, but it will work. With getting some help picking up all these little pieces of concrete. Ashley and the kids are gonna help pick it up. helpers went back inside. They helped make a great big dent, removing a lot of these stone pieces. So now I've got to take this little wall out here, all this dirt, and finish taking out the little concrete chunks that are in this hole and that little ledge of that wall that's left there. I'll have to dig out this dirt deep enough to put a pipe down for water for that tank. And that hole there is actually a poured footer already all the way around. It's about 3 feet deep. So I got to dig all that back out. Now, as you can see here, there's quite the void underneath this concrete floor. I'm no expert in concrete by any means. This was poured what seems to be just on dirt. My assumption is that the dirt had settled over the years and actually settled away from the concrete. So when we go to put new concrete back in here, the dirt should have settled already, but we're going to put a base of gravel underneath of it, only a handful of inches thick, to help with that. That way, in case it does settle a little bit, there's still a good base under it. Got the rest of that wall taken out, that way I can get 2 steps, 8 inches, to get down 16 inches to come through there. I'll pour a 8-inch slab through here, because the drop from up there down to where the cows are is 24 inches. 24 inches divided by 3 is 8. 3 steps at 8 inches. That'll work all right. That's it for today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We can do a lot here, but we can't grow this channel without your help. Thank you, and have a good day.